So you have a non-Tesla electric vehicle that's now authorized to use Tesla superchargers. And you went out and bought yourself a nifty NACS to CCS1 adapter, maybe one of the three I have listed here. Doesn't really matter which one for our discussion here today. They all work on Tesla superchargers. But then you took it and tried to use it on a Tesla wall connector. Maybe you have a Tesla wall connector at home because another vehicle you own is a Tesla, or you went to a Tesla destination charger at some destination, plugged in, and just got that red light. You're wondering what's going on here. Why won't it work? Well, there's nothing wrong with the adapter. It's not supposed to work, and for good reason. And that's what we're going to talk about here today, so let's get into it. All right, so I have to admit, this topic wasn't on my whiteboard. It wasn't something that I was planning on covering. It's just that recently, over the last few weeks, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and ask me for help and clarity on this. And the trigger was on back-to-back days last week. Out of Spec Dave called me asking me for help to understand why the NACS adapters don't work on Tesla wall connectors. And then I had my cousin call me because he bought one of the NACS adapters based on one of my videos. And he also has a Tesla at home. His wife owns a Tesla Model Y. And he actually has a Cadillac Escalade IQ on loan from the dealer because he drives a gasoline Cadillac Escalade. He just got one about 6 months ago. And if you follow the automobile industry at all, General Motors is having an enormous problem with their 6.2 liter engines. They're all failing. They had to recall like 900,000 of them. His 6-month-old 100,000 plus Escalade has been in the dealership for like 3 months now. And they finally gave him an Escalade IQ. I think they're trying to lure him into the electric Escalade. So he has it for a couple of weeks now, and he bought one of these adapters just so he could use Tesla superchargers. When he got home, he plugged it into his wife's wall connector, and he just got the red light. He sends me a picture of it in my text message. He's like, what's wrong with this adapter? And that was like the day after Out of Spec Dave called me to ask for clarity on this. So I may have overestimated how many people understand the difference between AC adapters and DC adapters. I guess when you're close to something, that happens. But we're going to talk about that here today. So these NACS to CCS1 adapters we have on the table are 3 different ones. This is made by Tesla. This is the Ford adapter. That's really a re-engineered Electron Vortex adapter. Electron makes this for Ford. And this is the A to Z Typhoon Pro adapter. They all basically do the same thing. But none of them will work if you were to plug them into a Tesla wall connector and plug it into your car. You're just going to get a red light and the car is going to say that it can't charge. Well, why is that? Well, before we go into technically why that is, let's talk about AC and DC electric. AC electric is alternating current. It's what level 1 and level 2 home charging equipment uses. It's what your house runs on. It's called alternating current. Direct current, DC, is the type of electricity that DC fast chargers use. Now, superchargers are really DC fast chargers. They use direct current, but Tesla just coined the name Supercharger. It's just a name, but it's basically a DC fast charger. The same thing as what Electrify America uses, EVgo, Iona, all the networks. They're all DC fast chargers because they use DC electric, which is very high voltage and high current charging. Now, when an electric vehicle charges on AC electric, like your home charging equipment, this here, this, even if you were to plug into a regular wall outlet and charge on level 1 very slowly, that's AC electric. The electric goes from and we call these chargers, but they're not chargers. These are really called EVSE, electric vehicle supply equipment. I refer to them as chargers all the time here on this channel because that's what people understand. I don't want to confuse people. I've given up the EVSE name fight a long time ago. But the reason why they're not technically chargers is because there is actually a charger built into every electric vehicle. And what that charger does is it takes the electricity from the EVSE and it converts it to DC. it takes the AC electric and it converts it to DC electric. And that's because the batteries can only store DC electric. So in order to charge the electric vehicle from an AC source like your house, at some point the electricity has to be converted from AC to DC, and that happens in the onboard charger. When you DC fast charge at a DC fast charger, a Tesla Supercharger or any of the other ones, the electricity doesn't go through the onboard charger. It goes right into the battery. Okay, so that's our little AC and DC tutorial. Now, why can't these adapters work that are designed for DC? Why can't a company come out with one that would work from DC and AC? You know, the NACS connector is the same, physically at least. It looks the same on a DC fast charger or an AC charger. It will plug in just fine, and then the other side will plug into your CCS1 vehicle. So why can't the AC power also flow through here? Well, the simplest way to explain it is, if that were to be the case, that these adapters could allow AC electric and DC electric to pass through them, there'd need to be a switch inside to switch the power pins of the NACS to either the AC or the DC power pins of the CCS1 side. So technically it could be done, but the problem is, if that switch ever fails, you're going to be sending 300 to 500 amps of DC power into the onboard charger, and you'd fry it. It would cost probably a few $1,000s to fix. I mean, it would cause a lot of problems on your electric vehicle, and no adapter manufacturer is going to take that risk of having something fail inside the adapter, a switch, and then it frying major components in the electric vehicle, and, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars of damage. Now, is it possible some small upstart company that we've never heard of, that out of China, starts selling them on Timo or something? I suppose, but please do not buy them if you see that ever get offered. Currently, none of the companies that are making these NACS adapters are selling an adapter that does that, but there might be at some point in the future. Please do not buy it. State of Charge is powered by Qmerit, North America's premier installer of electric vehicle charging equipment. After I've helped you decide which charger to buy, follow the link in the description of my videos and have Qmerit install it. And if you do follow that link, Qmerit will waive the $150 installation deposit. But this is an exclusive offer for State of Charge followers. So in order to get that offer, you must follow the link in the description of my videos. What you need to buy is an AC NACS to J1772 adapter. You notice not CCS1, because the CCS1 is for DC charging. J1772 is AC charging. So you need to buy an adapter like this. And this adapter, basically, you're going to plug in your NACS connector, and now it has the J1772 connector on top, which is the top portion of the CCS1 connector. You're only going to use the AC portion of it. Now, just to show you what I'm talking about, let me unlock this. When you look at the CCS1 adapter, or really the connector, the top portion is basically J1772. You can see how it looks. It's identical on the top because it is J1772. This is where the AC power goes through. The bottom two power pins are where the DC power goes through. So what you want to get, if you are in that situation where you want to charge your non-Tesla electric vehicle on Tesla Superchargers, but also charge them on a Tesla wall connector or destination charger, you need to get an adapter like this. Electron makes a good one. A to Z EV makes a good one. Make sure you get the 48 amp version of it. Just to be safe. They make some of these that are lower powered, but the Tesla wall connectors and destination chargers can deliver 48 amps, and you don't want an adapter that can't handle the full amount of power. Even if your electric vehicle can't accept 48 amps, if you have an EV that only accepts, say, 32 amps, buy the 48 amp one, because it's possible your next EV will be able to accept 48 amps, and you don't want to buy a lower powered one and have, you know, the vehicle asking for 48 amps, the charger delivering 48 amps, and the thing in the middle only rated for 32 amps. So get a 48 amp one, regardless of which brand you buy. Like I said, the Electron, the A to Z, they both make really good ones. Now, really quickly, we're going to go the other way with this, even though this is not a topic today. Let's say you had a Tesla electric vehicle and you wanted to charge on Electrify America, a CCS1 charging station. This is the adapter that you use. This is the opposite of these. This is where the CCS connector plugs in to the adapter, and then this plugs into the Tesla vehicle. Now, really quick, again, this won't work on an AC J1772 charger. For that, you need to have a little adapter like this. Tesla includes these with all their electric vehicles. But if you were to buy a Tesla, a non-Tesla electric vehicle, and it doesn't come with it, or if you lost it, you have to buy one of these. This is the J1772 connector. This goes in like this, and now you can charge your Tesla or NACS equipped electric vehicle from a J1772 connector. Although this, I just wanted to bring this up as an example because it's the opposite of what these are. This is the problem today, because for the first time, non-Tesla electric vehicles can use Tesla Supercharger. So people are running out, buying their NACS adapters, and then finding out that it won't work on an AC charger. And I hope I explained why it won't work. It's really a safety issue. You don't want to have something go wrong inside the adapter and have it fry your onboard charger and perhaps other things, and it would be many thousands of dollars to fix that. So you can buy these for under $100. Just be prepared. I think it's always a good idea to have one of these if you have a CCS or J1772 equipped electric vehicle. I always have one of these in my cars, even before the non-Tesla vehicles could charge on Supercharger. So if I came across a Tesla destination charger, or I was on the road somewhere and that was all that was available, I always kept one of these in my EVs, just to be safe. It's always good to have adapters, because you never know when you might need one. You might not need one for years, but that one time you need one, you'll be really happy that you bought one. And as far as the NACS adapters, the DC adapters, I just want to remind everyone that most of the manufacturers have stated that they only want their customers using an adapter that they have approved. It's typically just the adapter that they sell. Now, these adapters here, I'm comfortable with using on any of my electric vehicles. I've told my followers that, I've reviewed them. I think they're fine. I think that the automakers are just saying this out of an abundance of caution, and they don't have time to test every single adapter. And for all they know, somebody's going to come out with one that will switch between DC and AC, and they don't want to give any of their customers the impression that it's okay to use something like that. So right now they're just telling everybody you can only use the adapter we sell you. Not that it won't work. The other adapters will all work, but they're talking about if there's a problem, a warranty issue, if something happens during the charging process. I still haven't heard one person tell me that anybody has had a problem with any of the adapters that caused damage to their car or the charger. So I just think that that's out of an abundance of caution. I've said before, I use these adapters and I think they're fine to use. I'll have a link to purchase them in the description of this video if you're looking for a NACS to CCS1 adapter, and also a NACS to J1772 adapter. I'll put links in the description of this video, because you might have found this video because you're wondering why your NACS adapter won't work on a Tesla wall connector. Well, that's why. You got to go out and get yourself one of these. They're not expensive, and then you'll be fully covered. But again, if you do come across an adapter that works on DC and AC, please don't buy it, because it's not safe and you're just asking for trouble. Listen, if this is your first time here at State of Charge, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming electric vehicle news and reviews. And as always, thanks for watching.